What kind of camera are you going to take on your next adventure? We'll show you what we like and what we really don't like about all these cameras. Okay, this is the Insta360 Go 2. And this is just in the charge case and its clamshell opens up. I'm just holding it out like that. This is at arm's length. How does the microphone sound? Test 1, 2, 3. So this is stationary. And then we'll get walking. You can see how the stabilization is. I use this camera when I go on my trail runs, and it's able to stabilize the video enough to where it's watchable. It's kind of a toss-up whether this does better or the GoPro does better. So one nice thing about the Insta360 Go 2 is it's so tiny, but it comes with this charging case, and it can clip right in here, sticks in there. The cool part is you don't need a tripod just for really quick things. You flip these little legs out, kind of looks like a bug, and then you can set it down and get a quick shot like that. You don't have to worry about setting up a tripod or anything. This is really good for doing time lapses. Okay, this is the GoPro. I think it's GoPro 7. It's an older GoPro, and it has the media mod on it and an external microphone. This is audio test 1, 2, 3. And we found a trail here, so we're gonna follow it down. It goes down to the river, looks like. I'm not sure if there's a campsite down here or not. But you can see the GoPro does a pretty good job at stabilization. So we're getting closer to the river, see if the microphone picks up the river. There's a fire pit. Let's try a close-up on the GoPro. So the nice thing about the GoPro is it's waterproof, except when you're using the media mod. And so this has the media mod, which is that external case around it. And in order to plug in the external spot where you can plug in your external microphone, you have to take the door off. And so then you're no longer waterproof. So keep that in mind if you're going to use an external microphone. And I'm not sure if you can hear it, but there's normally a clicking noise when I do any kind of like movement here. Like it picks up a clicking noise of it moving when I'm holding it. If I'm rotating it, you could hear that. The Insta360 Go 2 doesn't pick up any camera movement like that. But they definitely have different pictures. So this is the iPhone 13 camera. It's pretty good. This one doesn't have the crazy stabilization like the new one, but it still gets good video. And the audio is not terrible. You can hear the river in the background. The question is, can you still hear me? I'll go around the corner here. This is holding at about arm's distance. This is with a normal front-facing camera. There's a little bit more snow on this trail than I originally thought. See that there's some snow back there still. This is the Insta360 One X2. It's being held at arm's length. How do I sound? 3, 2, 1. So when we were out recording yesterday, this thing was stuck in time-lapse mode and we didn't notice. So that's why we only have limited footage. So none of these cameras actually do very well in low light, so keep that in mind. Okay. This is iPhone. This is on a One X camera, but it also has a fisheye, which has a cool effect, which will rock the fisheye going across here. Switch back to the one. And then it also has the telephoto lens. Stock size comparisons. Obviously this guy's going to be the smallest. Your iPhone's probably in there. This guy's a little awkward when he's attached to the pole, and the GoPro is kind of in the middle. So the nice thing about this, there's one good and one bad. The camera itself is waterproof, but the case is not. This guy's fine getting wet. You can actually throw it in the water if you want to. Clips in there. I just keep it there. If I need to pull it out, I pull it out, or I just flip my hat around, use that. This little guy, it's small enough I can put in my pocket, and it's not a huge hassle. iPhone, everybody's got one. The problem is, like backpacking, I don't have my backpack on. I have no good place to put it, so having a pocket out here would be nice. Next we have the GoPro, and this guy has the media mod on it, which you can see is this external case. And this allows us to use this little microphone here, which plugs in here. And this is why it becomes not waterproof anymore, because in order for the media mod to plug in, you have to have the door open. This is a 3D printed handle, but you can get all sorts of different kinds of handles. Nice thing is, like this mod, I can attach a light, or you could put a microphone on there if you wanted to. It's a little awkward. It's quite a bit heavier at the top, so if you grab it, it flips over pretty easy. It fits in my running pack pretty good. Backpack, I haven't quite found a good place to put it yet. And the last is the Insta360 One X2. So the camera itself is pretty small, and it's a lot lighter than the GoPro with the media mod on it. It comes with a little protector hood, which is again good and bad, because when you take this off, you have to put it somewhere where you don't lose it. Depending on the combo you get, it comes with this stick. And it packs down pretty good, but that's still pretty big to put, so sometimes you can throw it in your backpack like that. Some people shove it in their coat, but you have to have a place to put it. This is how big the pole extends. Pretty big, good size. One other thing about this, if you come in and look, this big door right here, you pull both tabs, and then it pops out, and you can actually see the blue seal right there. And it pops out. This is where people have problems, because this seal will get pulled aside or whatever. And when you put it in, you can actually like push down sometimes, and just one of these latches will latch, not both, and water will get in there. So be careful when you're putting it on there. So which camera works best for what scenario? And that's, you have to figure that out for yourself. But for what we like to do, I take this little guy running with me, and when we go hiking, everywhere, because it's so small and so easy. The downfall is it overheats super fast, so you can only take small clips, which you really only want to anyways. The battery on this little guy I think is 20 or 30 minutes, but if you stick it back in the case, this battery in here will charge this guy in there. I think you can charge this guy twice from this battery. Audio's not terrible, so if you want to do a quick audio thing, it's not too terrible. We also take this when we go kayaking. I can stick it in the water and get some underwater shots. The only problem is this, I wish that they would have made, if you look, it's like super slippery, the whole thing. And I wish there was like a, I don't know, a rough part or a lip or something, so when you're holding it in the water, you're not accidentally dropping it and then going forever. Use case of the phone, one is you always have it. Everybody has it. It's got, now they have crazy good cameras. Since you have it everywhere, and most of them are waterproof now, they actually work really good outdoors, especially like today, it's wet and moist. If I was gonna pick one thing, if I had to buy, I would just take my phone. And now we have the GoPro. It's kind of a love-hate relationship with us. It's nice because it's waterproof, although it's not with the way we've configured it with the microphone. The onboard microphone sounds pretty terrible. It's got a couple different microphones, and they're not the best. This guy is just small, and he's, I think it was around 30 bucks. Super cheap, sounds super good, omnidirectional. Grab it. This does a super good job of keeping stuff stable. Plus it has that really wide view. Plus GoPro, they did a really good job of coloring the photo, so you really don't have to do anything extra to it. It comes out super nice right off the bat. This is like number 3 camera I would take when we're going out. And last but not least is the Insta360 One X2. I love and hate this one more than the GoPro. I love it because the 360 provides that cool view, but it's a pain in the butt to edit because you have to export it out. You have to tell it what shot you want since you have this 360 view to deal with. So there's that. Being waterproof and being on this pole, you can get some really cool shots. Whether it be stick it in the water, or if you're kayaking, you can get cool shots of underneath your boat. We've been running where there was a big hole in the tree that we couldn't actually reach, so we stuck it out on end and we shot inside of the hole of the tree. I think it was some critter was living in there. There was nothing in there when we looked, but you can get some neat shots with it. It can do time lapse and all that stuff. Battery wise, it's pretty good. I don't prefer this one as my primary just because you can't just say, okay, take this and then start editing. There's an extra step that you have to do. So this is kind of my last choice, but it's a very specific camera for that. Hopefully this gives you a good idea on what kind of camera you want to choose on your next adventure. Go watch this video next. If you want to know more about us, check out exploretrekadventure.com, and we'll see you next time.